Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected Dr. Professor Dr. Irwan Jaswir. Today, me and my partner will be presenting our article review from the store titled Supermarket in Sarakan Caught Mixing Halal and Pork Products, published on 28th June of 2025. So, my name is Muhammad Rahim bin Zakaria with metric number 2219211, and I will start our presentation for today and will be passed to my partner, Brother Fawaz bin Sahari. Alright, so now we be looking at the introduction by defining what is halal ecosystem and to identify our problem from the article. So halal ecosystem can be defined as the entire system that controls the manufacture, certification, distribution, and the use of goods and services that are considered acceptable or halal under Sharia or Islamic law. Food, beverages, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, logistics, finance, and tourism are all included in the ecosystem. Sometimes when we talk about halal, people only think about food and drinks, right? But it's beyond than that. Um, which make sure they are adhere to the strict halal regulations. It emphasizes the compliance, integrity, and ethical practices while integrating businesses, consumers, regulatory bodies, and certification authorities. So, in our article, as a global standard for halal compliance, Malaysia, as one of the biggest Muslim country, uh, their halal ecosystem is essential to preserving consumers' confidence and respecting Islamic values. And this is due to the fact that Malaysia is a predominantly Muslim nation, has made significant contribution, and is at the forefront of the halal sector. Once again, however, its instances of non-compliance call into question this system's integrity. The weakness in monitoring and enforcement are highlighted by a recent incident in Sandakan, Sabah, where a supermarket combined halal certified goods with non-halal items. Such violations cast serious doubt on how well the halal ecosystem maintains compliance with its rigorous standards. So now we're going to look at the problem statement of our issue that is extracted from the article we chose. So regretfully, the incident that happened in Sandakan is not the only noteworthy incident of halal violations in Malaysia, and also not the first incident of it occurring in Malaysia. Because in 2020, scandal involving the fake halal meat cartel is one of the other notable examples. In this case, a syndicate repackaged the meat from the non-halal sources, including pork, and falsely claimed them as it was halal. For many years, the cartel smuggled meat from other nations and presented it as halal certified in Malaysia. In the other cases, also in the same year, during raids in Johor, authorities found more than 1,500 tons of illegal meat, exposing widespread fraud and corruption, including the use of phony halal documents and labels. Critical flaws in the halal ecosystem are highlighted by Malaysian meat cartel scandal, which involved the smuggling and distribution of non-halal meat that was mistakenly labeled as halal. So this controversy controversy revealed flaws in the supply chains, corruption oversight of imported goods, and the halal certification procedure. So now I'll be passing the presentation to my partner, Brother Fawaz bin Zahari, to explain the jurisprudence view on the mixing of halal and haram products. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Fawaz bin Zahari and my matrix number 2115785. In this video, I would like to explain about Islamic perspective towards this rising issue, inshallah. And I would like to start our present by explain first what is Najis Mughallazah, because Najis Mughallazah is one of type najis in Islam that we need to know first before we discuss about it deeply. So, brothers and sisters, najis mughallaza is the heaviest najis in Islam, or in the other words, we also can define as the heaviest form of religious impurity is in Islam. So my question is, how we know it is the najis mughallaza? Because the ayah in Quran, in Surah Ma'idah verse number 2, Allah SWT mentioned clearly about the prohibition of three things, which is carrion, blood, and a meat, pork meat. So from this, it is clear that pork is haram itself. Haram lizati, haram because it is haram. So our prominent scholars from different schools also mention about, when we talk about pig, it is just not about meat, but it is included also the skin, the fat, or whatsoever that we can utilize from these animals. So brother and sister, furthermore, in Islam also clearly differentiate between halal and haram, and between halal and haram, it in the in the middle, we call as doubt. So as a Muslim, we need to avoid doubting, because it can impact our iman. All right. So in this issue, actually, we need to completely separate the mixing between pork meat and halal meat, because in our laws, in Islam dietary laws, it is considered as a serious violation if we are not taking seriously the separation between this meat. And in Sanaka Sabah, as we know, the majority population there is are Muslims, right? So as owners in this market, they need, or they are obligated to prevent any cross contamination, because it's also actually it will be impact their profit, their market development in future. So whatsoever in this issue, as an owner, they need to take a serious role in order to prevent this issue happen in future.
So thank you, Brother Fawaz. And finally, we're coming to the last part, which is, I believe, one of the most important, or the key of our presentation for today, which is the solutions, the prevention solutions in order to cater the issue that prevents, or that kind of affect our halal status quo. So all stakeholders and all authorities are involved in Malaysia's halal ecosystem should take note of the recent incident in Sandakan, Sabah, where halal certified products were mistakenly combined with non-halal items. A number of practical solutions have been put forth to address this problem and protect the integrity of our halal ecosystem, and each of us should give them careful consideration. So it's not only the government, the ministries, the owners of the supermarkets, etc. But I think the most importantly is us as the normal citizens, who also the consumers that contribute a lot in consumerism, right? So one of the best solution that we could offer is by strengthening regulatory oversight. This is in order to stop future occurrences of these kind of issues in the future. So, for example, we can increase the number of surprise inspections at food suppliers and supermarkets is one of the ways to accomplish this. And the other one, we also can establish more stringent criteria, thorough operational audits, for example, like, you know, um, put a sign in supermarket for a specific area for non-halal products. Yeah. So the second suggestion or solution we could offer is by improving training and education. Mm, In order to foster a culture of compliance among retailers and employees handling halal products, education and training are essential. So, for instance, we can implement a mandatory training programs that emphasize the significance of halal principles and appropriate product handling. And other than that, like practical examples that we can be done by the authorities is by separating storage areas and upholding hygiene standards. Once again, put different places for non-halal products, because sometimes and most of the time in supermarket they don't have a specific place for non-halal products, right? So I think that is one of the reason why these people like to just don't take this thing seriously and just put both halal and non-halal products in the same area, because they don't have a specific area for non-halal or haram products. We cannot stop them from you know uh, keep producing a non-halal product, because we are living in a multi-racial, multi-religious country where there are non-Muslims also, right? So that is one of the brilliant examples I could say. The third one is by emphasizing on technology and monitor and to be transparent. For example, we can use digital halal certificates that have QR codes on them would be one feasible solution. And then these codes would lessen the possibility of fraudulent activities by enabling regulators and consumers to instantaneously confirm a product halal status. Other than that, a tamper-proof record of the complete supply chain from sourcing to distribution could be established in order to use blockchain technology. This would guarantee that only products that are truly halal certified reach customers and offer transparent traceability. So bringing this together, technologies could strengthen Malaysia's halal ecosystem and make it more infamous and free from fraud. Last but not least, one of the best things that can be done by government or the ministries or the big authorities is by bolstering accountability and penalties. For instance, stringent penalties must accompany enforcement actions in order to discourage companies from violating halal laws. And other than that, blacklisting non-compliant companies publicly and also act and as warning and deterrent to other companies that operate within the same sector. Also, companies that deal with halal certified goods ought to be obliged to designate a halal compliance officer, and then this officer will supervise compliance with halal regulations, making sure that day-to-day activities meet legal requirements. So businesses would be encouraged to make compliance a top priority in their operations by such accountability measures. So I think those are some of the examples or suggestion or recommendations to all of us as Muslim in order to preserve our status quo of the halal ecosystem. And now, once again, I'll be passing this presentation to my partner in order to to conclude or to sum up our presentation for today, what we have been discussed. So I think that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
To conclude this presentation, this issue or this rising issue happened in Sandakan, Sabah, is one of a controversial issue that must be avoided, because when this issue was happened in Sabah, it's actually challenge the Islamic authority there, because it is about a big or a huge problem that happened there. It is about Malaysia halal food handling standard, because as we know, Malaysia is one of the most famous standard that we have. And how about this issue? If Malaysia are not looking at this issue seriously, so other people, other party will judge us. So hopefully by propose several solution and suggestion, we can gain, or we can accomplish the aim to restore consumer trust and protect Malaysia global halal industry reputation and improvise our industry in future, inshallah. So I think that's all from us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.